Fantasy Football League, Fantasy Football League, Fantasy. Well, stop that. I know I'm old, but hopefully a few of you will remember that tune. Right, it's Fantasy Premier League 9 preview-y thing. And we're going to talk about the last couple of weeks, how we've done, the transfers we've made, also the fixtures this weekend and who we think might do well. So first off, let's have a look at how we've done in the last couple of weeks. It's been average, I would say. We've got 42 and 51 points in the last couple of weeks, which is about just slightly over the sort of league average as a whole. We're doing all right. We're chugging along. I've made a couple of transfers this week. Last week I just didn't make any transfers. I didn't think there was anybody needed. Let's have a look at our Super Duper League. We've got Oddham FC, Joe Timms, who's now number 1, with Stokemon Go, lovely name, in number 2. But it is very close. I'm sitting at number 8. I'm delighted with that, by the way. I am delighted with being 8th in our league. So we've got, how many teams in our league now? 86 teams in the league. I'm very chuffed with being 8th. I just didn't want to be embarrassed. So let's have a look at the team and the transfers we've made this week. So, as I said last week, we didn't make any transfers at all. And this week, I decided to make a couple. Unfortunately, we've got Alderweireld, who's out injured. But I decided to keep him in. I'm not sure if it's a massive injury, but there was other transfers I wanted to make. And we got Van Aanholt, who should be coming back from injury, hopefully at the weekend. It says he's a 75% chance to play, so I'm hoping he'll get a game. But we just swapped Alderweireld for Shaw, and we're good to go. So the transfers we've made is that about a month ago, I bought in Benteke, and I decided to drop him. I just don't think he's going to get enough chances at Crystal Palace. I didn't massively want him at the time, but it was looking at the money I had. I was like, I can't do really much better. So what we've done is we've sold Stuani, the Middlesbrough striker, who was our sort of third choice. He was our bench striker. He was valued at 5 million, I think. And we've bought in Lewis Graben, who doesn't play at all, pretty much, for Bournemouth. And the only reason I bought him in is because he was the cheapest player in the forwards. It was like 4.5 million or something like that. So we bought Graben in just to give us a little bit of extra money. And that allowed us to swap Benteke for Lukaku, which I think is a pretty good upgrade. Obviously, the rest of the team is very similar to Kante. Had a great game. Last week, I had the tricky decision of Ibe was starting and I had to choose between Kante and Lallana, and I was like, well, Lallana's maybe not going to play, so I decided not to play him, and that was a good deal because Kante got man of the match, got an assist, I think, did well for us last week. So going to keep him in. We're going to drop Jordan Ibe to the bench, and I think we've got a pretty strong team. Let me know what you guys think of this. So captain wise, obviously when you go to do the captain and vice captain, you always want to look at the fixtures. So here's the fixtures for the weekend. So first up, we've got Bournemouth versus Spurs. We've got Arsenal versus Middlesbrough, Burnley versus Everton, Hull, Stoke, Leicester, Crystal Palace, Swansea, Watford, West Ham. You can all read. I don't know why I'm reading this out. Sunderland, Liverpool, West Brom, Man City, Southampton, and Chelsea, Man United. Now, the standout games for me, like where you see points coming from, I think, is Arsenal, Middlesbrough. Arsenal playing really well at the moment. Middlesbrough, newly promoted team, doing okay, but I think they're going to struggle hugely. I think Bournemouth Spurs will be a relatively close game. I think Everton should do okay against Burnley. Hull-Hoke might not be the most exciting game in the world. What you're looking for is these teams that are just going to get demolished, and I see Middlesbrough as the highest chance of that. Like Liverpool playing West Brom, and on paper that is a game that Liverpool could win by a margin. But the trouble is the way West Brom play. They play like Man United. They play like Man United, basically. They park the bus, and they will do again. And they're very good at it. They've been mastering the art of parking the bus for a number of years. Long ball. And we seem to struggle to break that tactic down. So that's why this weekend I've decided to go with Sanchez as my captain. Obviously, he's playing up front for Arsenal now, which is fantastic. And we've got Costa as my backup, just because I think he's probably the best bet. Sanchez is going to play, so it doesn't really matter too much. Other big games, the Man City Southampton one's going to be a cracking game. The Sunday, we've got some great games. And Chelsea, Man United. That'll be fun. See how you've got Chelsea, who are relatively sort of slightly defensively minded with Conte, and then you've got Mourinho, who's going away from home, so he's going to park the bus again. So that's got 0-0 draw written all over it. I haven't got a massive amount of Man United players or Chelsea players. I've got Costa and Conte. In fact, I've got no Man United. Oh no, I've got Luke Shaw. Okay, if you've got defenders in the Chelsea Man United teams, that might be a good day to have them. But overall, doing all right. Let's have go back and look at the. Let's just go on transfer. So I've got 0.3 million in the bank. I just wanted to have a quick look at how some of these players are. Let's look at the forwards based on points. Is that right? Yeah. So 78 players shown. These are based on their points scored this season. You've got Costa and Lukaku. So I pretty much have the two top scorers in the league at the moment. So that is where my points are going to come from. That is where I've put most of my money into. As you can see, 9.8, 9.5 million. There's a couple of random ones in that could be cheeky bargains if you're struggling for money. Like Callum Wilson is a great shout because Callum Wilson's been injured for a long time. He's just coming back into fitness and he's started scoring goals. I think that'll be my next upgrade. When I get some money, we've got 6.5 million for Callum Wilson because I think he's going to get more expensive. So if you're looking for a cheapy striker that you know is going to play and is getting better every game, Callum Wilson is the pick for me. If we look at midfielders, obviously Walcott's been on fire this season, but his value is still climbing. I think he's. If you think Walcott's going to carry on doing what he's doing, and I think he will have a good season, then 7.9 million is a steal. Kapui out of nowhere is scoring goals, but I can't see that continuing. But if you need a very cheap player, still 5.3 million, I think that's a bargain. Players like Milner are interesting because he's a midfielder, but he's actually playing left back. But he does take the penalties. It's always nice having penalty takers and free kick takers in your team if you can. Stanislas has been an absolute fire for Bournemouth, but I'm not sure how quickly he's going to continue that. Then we go to Arsenal. This is the sort of usual suspects, really. It's the teams with the good defence. Interestingly, Charlie Daniels for Bournemouth and Smith for Bournemouth are both up there. But yeah, they're the cheaper options of the table. I think Bournemouth will have a good season this season, so yeah, it's not too many bad. And then goalkeepers, I think they need to sort of fix goalkeepers. I think they need to vary in value more. Like the best goalkeeper is 6 million. David De Gea 5.5, and the worst goalkeeper is 4 million. So I've always kind of thought, well, for that money, you might as well just pick the best goalkeepers. So we got David De Gea in goal. Obviously, another Man United player. Hopefully, he'll get a clean sheet the weekend because. Probably going to be a drab game. It's going to be like 4-4 now, but yeah. And going back into our league for a minute, we haven't had any massive point scores. Nobody has beaten the 100-point barrier this so far this season, which I'm quite surprised. I think we've still got 92 as our highest. I'm keeping an eye on it every week, so make sure you're playing. I haven't used any of my sort of what they call the special abilities thing, all-out attack, bench boost, and triple captain. Triple captain. Do I go triple captain against Middlesbrough? I'm going to do it. Why not? Why not? I am going to play my triple captain, basically meaning that your captain points are tripled instead of doubles in the next game week. And Sanchez up front, home against Middlesbrough, is as good a time as any. Go for it. Oh, I'm scared. I've never done it. Remember, you only get to use these once a season. So be careful with them. I think the big one for me is the bench boost is going to be good. But we're going to go with triple captain. See if we can breach the 100-point barrier. If we get a hat-trick from Sanchez, then we're well on our way. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed my mini little video catch-up. Let me know your transfers in the comments below. I'd be interested to see. I'm enjoying doing this fantasy football this year, and I would like to see how you guys are getting along, or if you've made any transfers. Have you used any of these boosts yet? Because you can't see on the league table who's used their boost. That'd be quite interesting. You should have a little icon next to each person's name, say what boost they've got left over. But I'll be interested to see if you guys are going to use any boosts or anything or have already. Any sort of signings, cheeky little signings, especially the cheaper players that are little gems. Let me know in the comments below. And I will see you in the next episode. Come on, Liverpool!